guys, it's Ariana. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're going to be reading some more scary stories. As per usual, I have my wicked candle in here, making the whole room smell like caramel apples. And before I get into the spooky stories, I do want to give a big thank you to Dossier for reaching out and sending me 2 more of their amazing perfumes. So they did send me the Woody Green Apple scent, and they also sent me the Fruity Honey scent. So this is one of the scents that they've sent me in the past, and it is one of my absolute favorite scents. So I did ask them to send it to me again. So this is the Fruity Honey. It's a sparkling combination of juicy nectarine and ripe blackcurrant, giving the fragrance a crisp edge to its traditionally more fruity notes. In addition, the pairings of honey and tender peach, sustained with Vevadier, offer beautifully continuity of the starting tone of fragrance. So it is absolutely amazing, and this one is unisex. The other one that they sent me is the Woody Green Apple, and I actually asked for this one because this one is a men's scent. So I got this one for my boyfriend. Woody Green Apple opens on a colorful combination of hot cinnamon, fresh apple, mint, and grapefruit. Then the fragrance evolves towards a warm, rich, woody and ambery background with a subtle grooming effect. It's masculine, warm, and crisp. Woody Green Apple is a fragrance full of harmoniously combined contrasts, making it refined yet relaxed. And this one smells so good. It is one of my absolute favorite scents for men cologne. I absolutely love this one. I'm getting a little bit of hints of like vanilla and like the warm scents that they said in their description. It smells so good. I'm so excited to give this one to my boyfriend. He smelled this one and he loved it. So I'm very excited for him to wear that. And then the Fruity Honey one is one that I've received in the past and is one of my absolute favorites. I think I've gone through almost half a bottle of it from my previous ones that they've sent to me. So I'm very happy to receive another one. So their regular scents start at 29 USD and their more luxury scents start at 50 USD and go up to 280 in retail. So they are definitely very affordable. So a little bit about Dossier. They produce classic high-end luxury scents at a fraction of the price, keeping the exact same high quality by cutting the expenses of the infamous brand tax. They have a risk-free system allowing customers to try the perfumes before committing to them. If they do decide to return the scent, they have the standard 30-day return period in which a customer can return an unsealed 50 milliliter Dossier perfume and get a full refund, no questions asked. They offer free returns and exchanges forever. They have great bulk deals on their website, up to 25% discounts and free shipping for 3+ bottles. They're always adding new scents to their collections, and they're always thrilled to hear feedback. So if you loved a scent, they want to hear about it. If you didn't like a scent, they also want to hear about it. So because it is November, Dossier is having their most amazing sales. So their scents are up to 55% off with their current Black Friday sale. So if you are looking to save a little bit of money, you can go to their site currently and shop their amazing sale. It is a big one, and you can save a lot of money on their amazing perfumes. So one of the main things that I like to tell my friends and family, because this is my absolute favorite perfume line, is that they last on my skin forever. So that is the main thing that I tell people whenever they are interested in trying their perfumes, is that you can spray their perfume on your skin or your clothes in the morning, and you only need a tiniest amount, and it will stay on your skin and clothes all day. Sometimes even the next day, I still smell like the perfume that I put on the following day. So I absolutely love these. This is a paid collaboration from them, but I would never come on here and tell you guys about a brand that I didn't actually love. And this is one of my absolute favorite perfume brands. I've been working with Dossier for a very long time now, and they've sent me so many of their perfumes, and I love all of them. So thank you so much to Dossier for reaching out to me and wanting to work with me. This is absolutely amazing. I'm super excited that I can gift one of these to my boyfriend. And now I have an extra of the Fruity Honey because that is one of my favorite scents. But without further ado, let's jump into the spooky stories. So all of the stories that I'm going to read today are based around creepy forest stories. So the first one that I'm going to read is from the Backwoods Creepy section. It is from the Reddit author Clyde 2003, and it's titled A Strange Encounter While Bow Hunting. It was September in central Idaho. Autumn had come to the mountains, and with its bow hunters looking for mountain goats, my cousin, we'll call him Vern for Omni's sake, is an avid hunter. He's been all over North America hunting various game. Bears in Alaska, wild hogs in Texas, bighorn sheep in Wyoming, but his favorite hunting area was the Lemhi Mountain Range in central Idaho. Our extended family had been hunting in these mountains for generations. We know every river bottom and every mountain peak, like many people know their own neighborhoods. Mountain goats are a fascinating animal to hunt. They live well above the tree line in rocky environments. They are sure-footed and can climb near vertical slopes. Hunting these animals requires one to venture into these dangerous areas. You have to be mindful as you pursue an animal like that. One wrong step on a rocky slope or one loose rock could mean you're not going home ever again. Vern was an expert mountain hunter. It's something he was born to do. Vern decided to hunt in the Hayden River area of the Lemhis. It's a familiar spot to most locals, and the area is home to plenty of mountain goats. The first mile of Vern's hike was uneventful as he climbed up the canyon. The air was crisp, and his breath formed in great plumes as he progressed. The sun was just peeking over the mountains when Vern came to a small deer trail. He decided it might be a nice shortcut from his usual route, and he took it. A few hundred feet up the trail, he saw something odd pop out from behind a tree. It was a man. He was dressed in a light denim coat and jeans and was carrying a small backpack. My cousin stopped for a second to get his bearings, unsure of where this guy came from. The man waved at him with both of his arms. One of them was holding an older-style hunting bow, and acknowledging him, Vern waved back. Although the man looked to be physically fine, it was clear he was emotionally distressed. He yelled out something, and my cousin couldn't quite hear, and waved his arm, indicating my cousin should follow him. Vern didn't get any bad vibes from the man, and he could tell he was genuinely in need of help. He began to make his way up the canyon, following the mystery man. Vern could never gain any ground on this guy, though. He was always just far enough away that he couldn't talk to him. Periodically, the man would stop, turn towards him, make sure Vern was still following, and every time he looked back, Vern could see the worry in his face. My cousin did his best to remain calm and keep a smile on his face, unsure who or what he was being led to. It was peculiar, Vern thought, as he hiked. He hadn't seen any other vehicles on the drive up to the trailhead. Perhaps he came in from another ridge. What could he possibly be leading him to? He figured one of his hunting parties had been hurt and needed help. Of course, he wouldn't have had to speculate if the man would just stop and talk to him for 5 minutes. Vern lost sight of the guy just past a turn in the trail. The trail opened up into an incredibly steep, rocky talus slope. He looked in every direction and could not locate the man when he heard a whistle. Looking up, he saw the guy about 500 feet up the rocky slope, waving at him. There was no possible way he could have gotten up that far in just the short time Vern lost sight of him. He still didn't have any fear or wariness about the situation. The man was waving more frantically now, practically begging Vern to follow him up the slope. With a sigh and a grunt, he started up the rocks. It was slow going. Every other step caused a mini rock slide and would cause him to continuously lose his footing. Huffing and puffing on the cool, thin air, my cousin eventually made it to a small landing. It had taken him about 45 minutes to get to that spot where he saw the man from below. There was no earthly way anyone could have done that scramble up the hill any faster. Totally exhausted and out of breath, Vern sat down on the stone landing. He looked around and couldn't see the man anywhere. As he scanned his surroundings, he saw something odd poking out from a boulder about 20 feet away from him. Walking over to it, he found a weathered boot. 2 boots, actually. Inside those boots and under the boulder were bones. Vern looked around once again for the man, but he never saw him. Instead of feeling eerie and unnerving, Vern felt a sense of relief wash over him. Those emotions weren't his own. What he felt seemed to come from all around him. He marked the spot with his GPS and decided to make his way down and call the authorities. The Lemhi County Sheriff's Office responded, and they led him up the canyon to the body. It took 4 grown men to push the boulder out of the way, and when they did, they found the skeletonized remains of a man. On the body, they found hunting equipment and some personal effects. From a credit card in the wallet, they were able to identify the man. He was a bow hunter that had gone missing almost exactly 53 years before. Vern never wanted to be identified to the public or the missing hunter's family. He didn't want recognition for something like this. To him, it was just one of those bizarre mountain stories. He was happy that the family got closure, even if it was half a century later. The only thing that bothered him was the man leading up the canyon and with the strange and sudden disappearance. He had mentioned the waving man to the sheriff, but was brushed off. When news reports came out announcing the discovery, several photos of the man were published. Vern was absolutely shocked when he saw them. In the photos was the man he had seen leading him up the mountain to the body. It had finally made sense to him. The man's distressful look, the constant checking if Vern was following him, the sense of relief he felt when the body was discovered. The man was desperate to get home, and through Vern, he was finally able to be reunited with his family. That is such a sad story. So that is apparently a very true story. So that is very, very sad. And I'm so sorry to the family that had to experience that. Having a family member, a friend, a significant other disappear for 53 years is so heartbreaking. The fact that they led that hunter up the mountain to discover their body almost exactly 53 years later is so chilling. It's so scary to be hunting in that type of wilderness and that type of terrain because anything could happen and you could go missing, and it's just so sad. So thank you so much for allowing me to read that. Having a ghost literally bring you to his remains is so bizarre and just really, really cool at the same time. But thank you so much for allowing me to read that, and let's move on to the next story. So the next story that I want to read is from the Truth is Here section, and it's titled Weird Experience in Canyonlands at Night. This is from the Notsluna Reddit author. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. This happened over a week ago. My girlfriend and I were visiting the Arches and Cannylands area for the weekend and ended up heading out pretty late from Moab to get into Cannylands, about 45 to 1 hour drive. A few years previous, I'd gone there myself and stayed until the moon rose. Because this meant people were leaving, as a field recordist, this meant a quiet environment to record in. The night in 2020, the moon was bright and there were a few night photographers there, and I ended up hanging out with. It was generally a surreal experience, and I felt completely safe. Hoping to have a similar time again with my girlfriend along for the ride, and forgetting the fact that maybe the clouds would largely block moonlight that night, I drove us up. It was pretty dark before we even made it 15 minutes along the drive there. Having been there, more specifically Mesa Arch, twice, and it being borderline spiritual place for me, I didn't even think about the danger of anything of the sort. Despite that, I had a sixth sense and the type of gut feeling pretty early on that we shouldn't head up there that night. Not wanting to freak myself out or my girlfriend, I didn't say anything or think much of it. I chalked it up to just being nervous because it was dark. There was a certain vibe along the road leading up, and we noticed there were people leaving the park, but no one was coming in ahead or behind us. The instinct to not continue hit me a few more times, and I kept pushing it away like an idiot. I've been very familiar with these instincts over the past years, and they have served me well. As far as I can tell, I think I genuinely thought I was just scared because it was dark. We ended up at the Mesa Arch parking lot, where 2 cars were packing up and heading out. When they left, it was almost completely dark, with only the faintest glow of moon through the clouds and not a person around anywhere near us. Cannylands is pretty remote. We got our backpacks on, grabbed a couple things, and my girlfriend made sure I had my SSW. She doesn't usually care much, so this struck me as an indication that maybe she was concerned as well. We start heading up. It was a pretty short trail, maybe a quarter of a mile. All we wanted to do was get to this little bowl-like area, which was the main destination, and hang out and record some sounds. The area is pretty open, with trees both alive and dead scattered around, bushes and small cacti, and rocky slopes that can be climbed in a few seconds. It's a pretty dope scene in daytime, and I've never felt uneasy here previously. We've been doing a bit of travel vlogs so far, and we continue doing that. I genuinely got goosebumps and chills every time I think about this part. It was the weirdest feeling I've ever felt. I felt an instinctual, I should get out of here, like I'm being watched type of feeling. And I have several stories to tell from those types of feelings, but never felt what I felt like this while vlogging. This might not seem relevant, but for context, the field recording I do is largely of gathering wood and rock sounds. Cannylands has Navajo sandstone and juniper wood, both of which sound wonderful when tumbled and rolled around. I think of field recording as an art, but also as a way to appreciate the land in a closer way than just taking pictures of it. I felt like I'm capturing the essence of a location in a very respectful way. As I'm vlogging, I felt something I can only describe as a need to show that I was there peacefully and with respectful intent. I didn't hear anything or see anything that would indicate that I needed to show I was here on peaceful business, but I felt it so strongly. Again, I didn't want to scare my girlfriend, so I didn't say any of this. I figured I was just feeling on edge, being in near complete darkness. We could barely see our own feet on the easy open trail. We kept our lamps off and let our eyes adjust to the glow, but I turned mine on to read a plaque. My girlfriend mentioned I should probably turn it off so I don't create shadows and freak us out. So I turned it back off. I also felt like I was spotlighting myself by having it on, and I was about to turn it off before she even said anything. We continued, and the uneasiness only grew. This lasted until we both reached the same exact spot on the trail and stopped at the exact same time in silence. I think we should head back, my girlfriend said, and I agreed with her. Never have I felt a stronger feeling of being unwelcome in a place. It felt like we had a barrier. Not only did I feel unwelcome, it was more particularly the feeling of intruding on a meeting or gathering that we were not invited to. I don't know how to describe this feeling at all besides that, and it was not a conscious thought, it was just there, as these kinds of instincts tend to be. At this point, I realized I'd been ignoring these feelings long enough, and it was almost certainly time to go. I have no idea what was going on in that little bowl we were about to reach, but I didn't want to find out. We made our way back to the car, and as soon as we got back, we heard a large pack of coyotes quite nearby, but in the opposite direction that we'd been heading on the trail. If we continued on that trail, it was not coyotes we would have run into, though. Still, this felt like an additional cue to leave, and my girlfriend said, "That's our cue." I badly wanted to record their yips, but common sense took over and we got the hell out of there. The road, completely devoid of any signs of other people, was particularly eerie. Driving back wasn't just to get back to our campsite. It felt like we were escaping, like when you turn off the lights and run up the stairs. Now relatively safe in our car, we discussed what had just happened. Every single unspoken strong gut feeling I had, my girlfriend had felt the exact same thing at the same time. Both felt the need to show someone that we meant no harm by vlogging and being chill outwardly. Both felt multiple times, both on the drive there and on the trail, that we should go. Both felt at the same time that we were like actors on a stage being watched by a multitude of somethings. Both felt unwelcome, like we were crashing a party. Both felt the need to go at the exact same point on the trail. None of these were spoken out loud to each other at any point until we were back on the road. As we drove, the moon became visible for a bit. I'm not familiar with moon stuff, but it had been a full moon a few days prior, and on this night, it was large. It wasn't full though, but it was red. This was because of the red sand in the air from the windy day we had just had, and my girlfriend said that meant bad vibes. Looking into the history of the region, and even stories of strange happenings, I'm sure we avoided something strange and or dangerous. I wanted to share the story. Sometimes the places you love can still get spooky things going on when you're there at the wrong time. And that's a really good story. So obviously they didn't see like any ghosts or anything in the woods. They just had a very, very bad feeling the entire time. And they both felt the bad feelings at the same time. And it was an unspoken bad feeling. And they didn't even discuss it. They just both felt it and only discussed it when they left. So I've had those types of feelings before. And that is like your primal instinct of, oh my God, there's something bad around me. I need to get out of here. It's almost like you knew that you shouldn't be there, so you should have listened. I've had those exact feelings before, and I'm a big scaredy cat, like I've said in all of my videos, so if I ever get the feeling of there's something bad here, I need to leave, I tend to leave. I tend to listen to them because it is an instinctual feeling that you need to get out of there, and you definitely should listen to that, because even if it wasn't like a ghost or a supernatural thing in the woods, it definitely could have been a wild animal, a large predator that your body is instinctively telling you that you need to get out of there. You are in immediate danger, and you definitely should listen. So that one wasn't really a ghost story that we can really like prove that it was a ghost story, but it definitely could have been very spiritual, and it definitely could have been a wild animal. You never know when you're in the woods in the dark. It's scary and it can be very dangerous. So thank you so much for allowing me to read your story. Your story was very good and very creepy at the same time. Both of those stories were really great. And the first one was really, really sad, like I said, but they are both really, really cool experiences and just very unique at the same time. I've never personally experienced anything paranormal like that myself. I've never actually seen anything, but I'm kind of glad for that because I'm a big scaredy cat and I don't know what I would do if I saw a ghost. But thank you so much for allowing me to read your guys' stories. If you guys made it to the end of this video, please leave me your favorite nature emoji. Leave me a tree, leave me a plant, leave me anything that you love about nature in my comment section down below. If you guys want to talk about anything, you guys can leave me a comment as well. Leaving me comments helps boost my video on the algorithm and gets more eyes on my channel. So it really, really helps when you guys interact with my videos. Thank you so much again to Dossier for reaching out to me and collaborating with me again. Like I said, all of my information will be listed down in my description box down below and in a pinned comment if you guys want to go shop their amazing sale, because it is Black Friday and they do have the best sale of the year right now. So thank you so much again for reaching out and working with me, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys have any scary stories that you want to share with the channel, please feel free to message me either on Instagram or over my email. I am running out of your guys' personal stories, so if you guys have any stories that you want to send to me, I will definitely be getting to them as soon as possible. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys at the next video. Bye!